Good morning, designers, and welcome to this week's episode, part 2 of the Birthday Challenge. Last week, I put together a room using no limited edition items. Everything was I thought it was under level 10, but it was actually under level 15 or something because of a plant. And I invited other people to duplicate that room and promised that in this episode we would compare scores to see if we could gain some insight into how voting works. So I have that result, and I have results from other people as well. I would like to say that, of course, I cheated. And, oops, sorry, wrong room. Right, I cheated, and I did check the result for the sleek and stylish room that we're talking about in this episode. But here are the grand results, my grand results. 4.64 for this room. And when I saw that in my results, I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God. It's not an amazing score, but at least I didn't tank anybody's results. Thank God. This is absolutely fine. No damage was done here. Way to proceed cautiously. To proceed cautiously with other people's design home scores. Just as a little tip, maybe the next nobody should have done this because my overall score is rubbish and it has been for several weeks. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I was relieved to get a 4.64 and be like, okay, thank God, nothing went horribly wrong here. That's a perfectly fair score for this room. No, my friends, no. I have ruined people's lives, just not my own. So 3 other people sent in their scores. The first person was poor Megan, who got a 4.11. That is a differential of like 50 points, 53 points. I was stunned to see this in my inbox this morning. Suzanne got a 4.24. Same room, everything exactly the same. And Orla got a 4.16. There they are. There are the scores. I mean, at least everybody got a prize. I don't really know what to tell you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But first of all, thank you very much, all 3 of you, for participating in this challenge. It is so cool to have this data, and so cool to be able to point people to an episode saying, look, it's not always you. Or even the room. Because I think the important thing that we've learned here is that it's not about how good your room is. It's about how, not that I'm saying that was a good room, I'm saying that room was fine. It's not about how good your room is, it's about how good your room is compared to the room it's up against in voting. So, like, if let's do a round of voting here. Although I'm going to have to fortify myself with some coffee. Okay. So, like, the room on the bottom is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with this room. But the room on the top is better. It's just a better room. So I'm going to vote for the room on the top. And the room on the bottom is going to come up against another room in the next round of voting. It's going to be up against a different room when it is next voted upon. And like when you look at this room, these rooms, this room on the top I really, really like. The room on the bottom is fine, but we're going to vote for the room on the top, like obviously. So let's vote for that. And this is a really good example. Like the room on the top is terrible. Like that's not a good room. I mean, it's fun and it's quirky, it's eclectic. The idea of mixing all of these animal prints is it's a vibe. We have a cow print bench, a zebra print side table, a zebra print rug in a different color. Like it's cute. There's nothing terrible about this room, but it's not great. But what it is so much better than the room on the bottom. So even though this room is not good on the top, I'm voting for it. And there we go. Um, I hate the room on the top. I'm going to vote for the room on the bottom. Um, but somebody at some point is going to post the room on the top somewhere and say, well, I didn't think it was that bad. And it's not that it's that bad, although it is. It's that it isn't as good as this other room it's up against in voting. It's as simple as that. It's not a. Your score isn't a reflection of the absolute value of your room. Your score is a reflection of the value of your room compared to other rooms it came up against in voting. And that's that. I mean that it's as simple as that. I am, however, absolutely fucking mortified that I set forth a challenge that people were nice enough to spend their money on. And the person who got lucky with the rooms they came up against in voting was me. And I got a 4.64. And everybody else got from a 4.11 to a 4.24. And I'm just so embarrassed. I really apologize. I'm so sorry. But what I will say is that one of the people was nice enough to say, well, this absolutely tanked my score, but it was interesting and fun to do, and I'd do it again. So, you're a braver woman than I am, but thank you so much for saying that. Because I really felt badly and still feel badly about this. Um, in other news, in the continuing saga of score comparisons, because I just think this is a really interesting topic, and I've decided not to mess up anybody else's average, but rather to just mess up my own. I will. This new in the Netherlands is a Wayback challenge, and I remember it very distinctly because um, oops, where am I? Sorry. I got this five, I guess it was 2 years ago. Early on in my design home career, it was after I had started recording Game of Rugs, but it was early on in the Game of Rugs episodes. And I had submitted this room, and I absolutely loved it. I loved this room, and I was so excited about it. And I got a 5 on Game of Rugs while filming, and I was so thrilled by this room. But then I also knew that it was early on in my design home career, and I noticed that this room didn't have any limited edition items um, at all, like none from back in the day. And I thought I could do that again. So I screenshotted all of the items that were in the room, and I duplicated this room. I did everything except the desk because this desk was too 28,249 diamonds. So, this is an Elite Wayback challenge. And here it is. I have duplicated that room to the best of my ability. I've borrowed the couch, the same couch again from Laura. Thank you. And um, I've I've the buffet table is really close to the buffet table that I had previously used, which is like 5,000 diamonds, so we're not buying that. But we're buying this. It's virtually indistinguishable. The desk, I mean, it's pretty close. We're going to buy this desk. Or I already own this desk or something. Anyway, this is the desk that we're going with, but everything else is the same, and the desk is really similar. So, the previous room with this design got a 5, and in the interests of punitively challenging my own score out of guilt for having tanked several other people's scores, I'm going to submit this room again, which I will say I would have done so differently today if I hadn't just distinctly remembered getting a 5 on this room and being so proud of it. Thank you very much, Laura, for loaning me your sofa because I am not buying a DWR sofa for $8,500. So we have submitted this room, and I will let you know on the next episode how it does. I hope it gets a 4.11 to even out the karmic balance. Um, and and I think that might be it. This may be the shortest episode of Game of Rugs ever. That was an actual episode because I'm just gonna go like hang my head in shame now. However, I would really like to say thank you so much to Megan, Orla, and Suzanne for participating. Literally could not have done this episode without you guys. Really appreciate you taking part and taking the time to mail in your scores and your screenshots. That was great. I hope everybody watching thought that was interesting. And thank you so much for joining. And I'll see you next week on Game of Rugs. Bye now.